Horns up, Bulls fans. Coming up on the UB Basketball Insider Show, we'll sit down with women's head coach Felicia Legette-Jack to get the latest on the start of Mid-American Conference play. And you'll learn all the details about Jim Weitzel's incredible 25-plus year journey through college basketball. It is time to tip off the UB Basketball Insider.
Basketball fans, on your feet. Here come your Bulls.
Devontae Jordan slithers to the basket. Left side layup is good on a spin move. Boy, that was slick from Devontae Jordan.
It's about us. It's just our sisterhood, our foxhole, and we don't compare ourselves to anybody else. We're ready to go. We're ready to play anybody tomorrow.
Gets it over to Dillard. Dillard, pump fake, Hall, sets her feet, fires, yes!
We're going to guard and we're going to run and we're going to play that blue-collar style of play. We're ready to go and develop the next chapter.
Well, Coach, you're 2 games into your Mid-American Conference portion of the schedule. How different is it, and how much do you sometimes have to tell your team that things do get more intense and maybe there's another level of play that's required?
Well, it's a great conference. It's a conference that has really done some transformable things. You know, for the last few years, we've been getting more than one team in postseason. We've done that on 3 occasions, and that's really awesome. That says that every single day is going to be a battle, and it's a team. It's a conference that's battle tested, and it's a conference that's battle ready, and our team is going to have to rise to the challenge.
Hannah Hall referenced earlier in the week to me that you emphasized to your team there's 3. This is part 3 of the season: preseason, non-conference, and now the MAC part of the schedule. Why do you break it down that way? What's the benefits of that?
Well, we're the 3rd youngest team in the country, and it's important that they don't see Toledo or Ohio or Central Michigan that can really take them to a level of no return. But the season is when you change seasons, it's almost a fun thing, a feel-good thing. And my hope is that they use that as, we're transforming into something different, and that is just. You know, we got to adjust a little bit. We might have to put a jacket on, you just got to bring your game just a little bit higher, but we're ready for it.
The win over Miami earlier in the week, 86-72 on the road, was that in a lot of ways kind of the model performance you want to see from your team in a MAC game on the road?
You know, it's really great that we came that first game ready to go. It was so young, with Summer out, then her backup is out. And then Marissa hurts her ankle, and she's out. So you got 3 people in the same position that we're fighting to figure out who's the next person in line. We always say, next woman up, but it's starting to be too consistent with that. And so they were able to come out and do a really good job. And I love what Addie did for that game with a high double-double. And so every single game is going to be somebody different that's going to have to step up. And at Miami of Ohio first game, we showed that we were ready to go.
Adebola Adebayo, you mentioned, she had 16 points and 14 rebounds in the win over Miami, then comes back with double-digit rebounds in the game against Toledo. Are you starting to see those kinds of signs in her game of improvement and a comfort level?
I really like her. I like her energy. I like her focus. I mean, she's raw in a lot of categories, but you will never say that she's going to give you 99%. It's always going to be 100, and it's going to warrant her more opportunities for sure.
So the game on the road at Toledo, certainly disappointing to you, but now there's that refocus that comes back for one of the games of the year. It's the rematch of the MAC championship game. It's later today here at Alumni Arena, a 2 o'clock tip-off with Ohio. Do you still get excited for games like this that you know are going to mean something and be intense, one great team against another?
Every game means something to me. Everything that we do it matters, and these young people matter. And our last game, even though we didn't have success against Toledo, I thought that we showed such signs of resiliency, toughness, and fight all the way to the end. We were getting blown out of the gym, and yet they still fought and believed. And this just is another game for us, and that we can grow and get better and figure out who we are. It's so early in the season, 3 games in. We still we're led by a freshman, and so she has to go through these teams to figure out who they are, and we have to come with her, and we got to grow with her and grow with each other. And so Ohio, although it was a MAC championship game, it's a lot of people missing on our team, a lot of people, including Sierra Dillard, and so it's different, and it's a different mindset, and hopefully it's the same focus.
But you will pop that tape in of that game last year at some point as part of your scouting process. Is a little smile rise up out of the corner of your mouth sometimes to know what that game meant, what you accomplished, how significant it was?
There's no looking back, and I haven't seen that game since, and I'm different. I'm just it's their time. It's no feel good for me. I've done it already. It's how to get them ready for the next game. And I know they just lost. Ohio just lost to Central Michigan on the last buzzer beater 3. They're coming at us ready to go for this season. And we'll come back this season as well.
Our preview of the Bulls and the Ohio Bobcats, part of our Town Automotive keys to the game. And you mentioned it, Ohio 1-1 in the MAC, a buzzer beater against Central Michigan. They bring in 2 of the best players in the Mid-American Conference in Cece Hooks and Erica Johnson. What's the challenge for your team later today?
Cece Hooks and Amanda Burke.
Yep, I didn't mention her, right?
And those guys are pretty special. Their team's special. Their coach is special. He has a quirky way of being great, and it works for him, and I really respect how he believes in what he does, and he makes it work for them. They've been challenged by Texas, Syracuse, all these teams that's high rank, and they have really stepped a foot forward for our MAC conference. And so we have our hands full, and we're going to really be grateful for this opportunity to figure out how good we can become.
No doubt your team is ready to rise to that challenge and occasion?
We're always going to be ready, and always going to have lessons to be learned.
All right. Well, it's going to be a fun one. It's later today right here at Alumni Arena, a 2 p.m. tip-off between the Bulls and the Ohio Bobcats. You can hear it on ESPN 1520. You can see it on ESPN3. Going to be an early season showdown in the Mid-American Conference. Coach, good luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you for all you do.
It's time now for the top 5 plays of the week, presented by ECMC. The difference between healthcare and true care. Number 5.
Tessie now settles down in. The southpaw from Nigeria misses the free throw. Gaba gets the offensive rebound and goes off glass and in as Buffalo pulling away here late from Miami.
Number 4.
Turnover for DeAsia Fair. Back the other way. Addie runs the court and comes up with a steal. What more can you say about what Adebola Adieye has done today? Now on the other end, Hall gives it to Walters, and Kiowa Walters goes off glass and in. Buffalo exposing this Miami defense here.
Number 3.
Fair now, looking to get it in. She does. Gets it to Hall on the right wing. Hall's been quiet offensively, but has done a really nice job distributing the ball here today. She gets it to DeAsia Fair at the top of the key. Fair, fancy dribbling now, putting this player on skates. Who is this? Monique Esprand, and a beautiful pass down to the right block as the entire Miami coaching staff left just staring at DeAsia Fair in awe after that one. Unbelievable moves. Put Monique Esprand on ice skates.
Number 2.
Hall gets a ball screen from Gaba, now reverses it to Onwuka, left wing. Tessie puts the ball on the deck, skips through the paint, drove contact. She got it to go, and they're going to count the basket. Count the basket. It's an and one for Tessie Onwuka.
Number 1.
Hall just quietly gets back on defense after Dickerson let her hear it. Fair now lets a 3 fly. She was fouled and hits it. That's an and one 3-point play. Oh, DeAsia Fair just so good. Miami doesn't have an answer for it.
Coming up, senior guard Teresa Onwuka has stepped into a big role this season. Hear her UB basketball story next.
Hey basketball fans, this is Hannah Hall from your UB women's basketball team. I want to invite you to this Saturday's game in Alumni Arena versus the Ohio Bobcats at 2 p.m., a rematch of last year's MAC championship game. It's Superhero Day, so come dressed in your best costumes and be one of the first 300 kids in the door to receive a custom UB Bulls superhero cape. With pregame photo booths and postgame autographs with the team, this is a day with the Bulls you won't want to miss. For tickets, call 1-877-UB-THERE.
Welcome back to UB Basketball Insider. This segment is presented by CEFCU, changing lives every day.
Teresa Onwuka, number 11, senior, Buffalo women's basketball.
Left wing, Tessie puts the ball on the deck, skips through the paint, drove contact, she got it to go, and they're going to count the basket.
I would say when I was 11, about to be 12 years old, when I was in secondary school back in Nigeria, and one of our teachers was like, oh, you look like you're gonna be tall, you should come try out and play basketball. And I was like, okay. At first, I was like, I don't want to play basketball because people watch soccer in Nigeria, so I was like into soccer. Like when it's basketball, we're like, oh, this is boring. But I was like, okay, let me go and try it out. So when I started playing, I realized that I could go to school with basketball. Like I could pay my way to school through basketball. Coming from a family where only my mom is the one like taking care of us, and she's just a primary school teacher. And that is tough in Nigeria to be able to take care of 4 kids with just being a primary school teacher. Basketball in Nigeria is tough. So I started playing on an outdoor court, and I remember then I had to play with my school shoes. I go to school and I play with my school shoes. Our shoe goes so bad that we had to put a slide underneath so that your feet doesn't touch the floor because there's some tiny holes underneath. So those experiences but the good thing is we go through all that. We play I play barefooted, my feet peels up because of the hot floor. And I still want to keep going. Basketball changed my life. Basketball is the reason why I'm here right now. Basketball is giving me education. Basketball brought me to the US. Everyone in my family are looking up to me. It looked like I was the one who made it out because of basketball. I love Coach Jack. I love her. She's a great coach. To me, I feel like she's the best coach in the whole of college basketball. She's not just a coach. The good thing about her is she's not just a coach. She's also a mother to us. The main thing is for us to instill the culture that I came in. I don't want to be the year I'm a senior, that's the year the culture dies. I want to uphold the Buffalo women's basketball culture and keep it going.
The growth in Tessie's game has been amazing to see. 17 points a game, leads your team in rebounding. She has taken leaps and bounds, to use an old cliche, in her game on the court. How has it happened?
Well, she's the only senior we have available, and it's unfortunate that she's in this position. But she takes personal pride in it. I mean, she's not just playing for Tessie, she's playing for Summer as well. And she's really taking heart on what she needs to do to help us grow as a team and as an organization. I'm so grateful that she's with us.
She, early in her career, at times she seemed a little timid. There is nothing timid about her now, is there?
There's no time. There's no time to be timid. Third team in the country in youth. We're the youngest, one of the top 3 youngest in the entire country, and she has to lead us. And wherever she leads us into a wall, that's where we go. But she leads us into victories into the NCAA tournament. We'll follow her there as well.
Coaches always love it when their best players are their best leaders and their best people, and I think that applies here with Teresa Onwuka, recently accepted into UB's School of Nursing, which is an incredible achievement. She is involved in student leadership. She's involved in anti-bullying campaigns. I want you to tell everybody a little bit, because you know her better than any of us, what kind of person Teresa Onwuka really is.
4.0 last semester, I might add. And
I just buried the lead on that one, didn't I?
She is really the best person you would want to meet. If you haven't met Tessie yet, shame on you, because you're meeting the most purest, nicest, giving human being that I've ever encountered. Her whole mission in life is to serve you. And what comes back to her is just extra. She doesn't do it for herself. She does it for all the people in the world. That's why she's going to be a perfect nurse. That's why Buffalo, our nursing school, is really getting a gift to have her join them in their school, because what she's going to bring is more than taking care of a sick person. She's going to bring the whole heart with it. And I am so blessed to be her coach, and I'm grateful that, I got to be able to spend some time with her.
Well, guess what? Come out to Alumni Arena today. Come watch the game, and then after the game, I'm sure if you want to say hello to Tessie, you'll get your chance to meet her like you would like everyone to do, won't they?
She will say hello and give you a hug.
There you go. All right, so that's just another reason for everybody to come out and see the Bulls in an early season MAC East showdown with Ohio. 2 o'clock today. Coach, thanks for your time.
Thank you so much for all you do for women's basketball.
Coming up, get to know UB men's basketball head coach Jim Weitzel. Jim shares his story right after this.
Welcome back to UB Basketball Insider. This segment is presented by Town BMW, the official auto partner of UB Athletics.
Today's Inside the Numbers is presented by Financial Partners of Upstate New York. Thanks again to Financial Partners of Upstate New York for their continued support.
Hi, I'm Jim Weitzel. I'm the head basketball coach at the University at Buffalo. All right, yeah, now, hey, go out and warm up. Let's go hard. Let's go. Come on. Come on, first 4 minutes. Come on, win on 3. 1, 2, 3, win. Let's go. Go out hard. Let's go. The last 8 years, I've been assistant coach not only at Buffalo, but at St. John's University and at St. Louis University. I was a head coach for 24 years in the Chicagoland area at the Division III, Division II, and then finally the Division I area before I was an associate head coach at St. Louis University and at St. John's.
I guess I can re-welcome, our 14th head coach for men's basketball and his lovely wife, Connie, to the podium, Jim Weitzel.
Well, I think the great thing about being a head coach for 24 years, you certainly know that seat very, very well, and you have to adapt for each level that you worked at. The great thing, I had the opportunity the last 8 years of being an associate head coach, assistant coach, was learning different techniques, how to do different things differently, different styles of play. So not only here at Buffalo, but certainly at St. John's with Steve Lavin and at St. Louis with Rick Majerus. Those all gave me different opportunities to learn the game, a wider variety of experiences I certainly can to bring to the table now. I realized as I got older that I wasn't ever going to play professionally. I really had great experiences, wonderful teammates I got to know in high school and in college, and it was just a game I always wanted to be around. So I knew the next best thing to do was go ahead and be a coach. Right away, I was attracted to being a teacher and a coach when I was in high school. I thought that would be the vocation I'd like to be at. A lot of my family decided to go more in the entertainment business, and we always have this joke in terms of, which one of us chose the right path in that way. But it's been really, we've been all very fortunate in terms of follow a little bit what your dream is about and pursue it. Really with me, it's really been the opportunity to work with wonderful coaches, assistant coaches and head coaches, and along with it, all these players you've had an opportunity to work with and see what they're about. The community we've lived in the last 4 years has been a place that my wife Connie and I have absolutely loved being in. It's just been a one big family atmosphere. And so I've really enjoyed it. So when the opportunity did come up and getting the opportunity now to be the head coach being here has been just something I'm really incredibly appreciative of.
Today's Call of the Game is presented by T-Mobile.
And that's going to be a steal in the arms of Janathan Williams. Will he take it all the way? He tried. Mbala offensive board, up and under, layup and one.
And you can see why the Bulls are such a force on the offensive glass.
Coming up, there's a big week ahead at Alumni Arena. We break it all down next on UB Basketball Insider.
Here at UB, we are asking the big questions.
This is where research and community come together.
The beauty of being a scholar has been to communicate beyond the disciplines.
This is UB Basketball Insider, presented by ECMC, the difference between healthcare and true care.
Welcome back to the UB Basketball Insider Show. With Mid-American Conference play underway, it's going to be fast and furious with games coming every couple of days. So it's going to be busy right here in Alumni Arena. The UB men's basketball team welcomes the Ohio Bobcats into Alumni Arena on Tuesday, January 14th. Last season, the Bulls swept both games from their East Division rivals. The Bobcats have played a challenging schedule this season with matchups against Villanova, Baylor, and Purdue. They do own a win over St. Bonaventure, just like the Bulls. The UB women's team has a crucial early season 3-game homestand. First up, it's a MAC championship game rematch with the Ohio Bobcats later today. Wednesday, MAC East rival Bowling Green comes to town for an early season divisional battle. Next Saturday, Eastern Michigan comes to town. Last season, the Bulls and the Eagles played one of the most exciting games of the season. Finally, let's hit the pool for some swimming and diving. The UB Diving Invite will be held today and tomorrow here at Alumni Arena. Then next Saturday, it's the Bulls and the Ohio Bobcats in a crucial MAC East divisional showdown. It's winter, but the action is heating up at Alumni Arena. This place is going to be rocking a little later on this afternoon. It's a big one for the UB women's basketball team. They welcome in the Ohio Bobcats. It's a rematch of last year's MAC championship game, and it's a test for UB against the team picked to win the MAC East. 2 o'clock tip-off here at Alumni Arena. You can see it on ESPN3. You can hear it on ESPN 1520. Thanks for joining us for this week's UB Basketball Insider.